Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be having a look at some battleship designs that I think are very powerful. One in particular, which is often overlooked by players. Now, I get a lot of comments saying, artillery battleships are the best ship design in the game, in the late game, for mass production and large numbers of battleships to fight crisis fleets. Well, let's put that claim to the test. So here we've got our standard artillery battleship fleet focused argument. You can change this out different weapon slots if you want, but it doesn't really change the outcome of the battle. A mix of armor, shields, afterburners are pretty standard stuff in this fight. Trying to stay at range, using our speed to stay at a longer range, trying to do the most damage possible with artillery combat computers, and just standard late game technology there. Opposing us is a fleet of battleships with Cloud Lightning. Now, as you can see, this is like a long-range disruptor with 100% shield penetration and armor penetration, a 60 range. It does 100% accuracy and 30% tracking, so it's very good at hitting larger targets. Not so good at hitting things like corvettes, although it's still manageable. It's still going to do some damage. Fire rate is the same as artillery at 7.15. Although it only does 1 to 106 damage, it goes straight through to the hull. So focused arc emitters, we've got mostly armor, a couple shields, and afterburners so we can close the range. With line combat computers so that we can close to a more median range to use our Cloud Lightning more effectively. Let's see how this battle goes.
Mixing it up with a hostile fleet.
Feel the focused arc emitters there firing. You see the Cloud Lightning is the blue when it fires. Here it goes, starting to fire now. You can already see we're doing a large amount of damage. They've lost 10 battleships from the fight already. We've only lost 4. If we look at the damage output to hull, the focused arc emitters have done 80,000, but that's from both fleets. Cloud Lightning's already up to 8,000. Nearly 9,000, and that's the highest. Kinetic artillery's only done less than 1,000 already, and we won't see any damage there from the Cloud Lightning. That's already effectively hitting the hull, so it's nearly 9,000. So when you look at the hull per ship, hull points is 3,600. So it's knocking quite a few out of the fight already. You can just see there the ship number or the fleet power is dropping quite quickly. Down 21, 24, down to 20. They've only lost 5 battleships from this fleet so far. Absolute slaughter. Nearly there. There we go. That was the treated fleet now. They lost 15 battleships. Half their fleet. We lost 5 battleships. That just goes to show that this type of ship design is highly effective. A lot of people think, they see the lower damage rate of the Cloud Lightning. They look at the damage output 1 to 106, so it gives you a random number between there as the maximum damage output. But you're doing that maximum damage to the hull of the opposing ship. But then you've got to think, like, this doesn't even have your leaders and all your different empire benefits on there, but we are running supremacy. But you've got your leaders or your council leaders and different buffs and edicts and things like that you can run, and astral planes, and so you can add all that on top of this to increase your fire rate. That's why these ship designs tend to be really effective against crisis ships, because you're bypassing either their stronger shields or stronger armor depending on the crisis ship fighting, and going straight through to the hull. It's very effective at fighting those crisis ships, particularly when you've got large numbers of these fleets, which you're going to need fighting on the harder difficulty levels. Now, admittedly, this fleet has no shield hardening or armor hardening, and that will make the battle a lot more in favor of the artillery fleet. But this is just the standard design. This ship also doesn't have any really type of countermeasures against the artillery either. If you were having artillery, you go all armor, and you'd be running some different things here as well to counter the all artillery ship design. But let's counter the Cloud Lightning with what we would use to defend ourselves with some shielded armor hardening against that. Okay, for this fight, we've got our artillery fleet again. But this time we've got some reactive armor, which is going to give us 50% armor hardening. And we've got 25% shield hardening also. And we've got some missiles thrown in there. The missiles, whirlwind missiles, instead of one artillery. So we had the extra auxiliary slot to give us some extra armor and shield hardening. And you could argue, let's put in some extra armor hardening, have 3 armor hardening here as well. You could change the battle outcome like that as well. And go all armor if you wanted to. Or you could go more shields to give you a better balance, because the shields, remember, do give you a daily recharge. So they will be increasing each day, so you could argue the recharge rate gives you more points to play with, and with more hardening as well. So there is an argument for that as well. When you're dealing with bypass weapons, there's no need to stack this much armor. You can have more shielding really to make benefit of the daily recharge shield regen, which might help a little bit, might give you a few extra % in the fight. Against it, we've still got our Cloud Lightning fleet. No changes there. We're just keeping it the same just to see how it goes against this fleet. With the hardening, I expect the artillery battleship fleet will do particularly well.
Hostiles engaged.
We've already down 3 battleships to 1. That was mainly the focused arc emitters. The Cloud Lightning is firing, but we're just not doing as much damage as fast. Due to all that extra hardening. We are losing a few extra ships now. Quite even in terms of ship numbers, but there's more ships retreated here. Look at it. The firepower keeps dropping. We're just not doing as much spike damage to force these ships to either retreat or be destroyed because of the extra hardening. You see that the fleet numbers are dropping quite quickly now. I'm just losing too many. Battle is nearly over. Okay, that's a retreated fleet now. So we lost 13. No, we lost 19 all up. Quite a few losses. So just changing those few things has changed the outcome of this battle. But if you know you're fighting mostly artillery battleships, you're not going to come in with shields, and you're not going to come in with afterburners. Particularly if you know they know that you're running bypass weapons, so you're going to be coming in with a different makeup than this. Like, this is sort of saying against a human opponent. They've sort of been spying on you. They know what you've got. You know what they've got. So to counter a human opponent using this ship design, running with extra reactive armor and shield hardeners, whatever balance that is, there can be so many variations of this depending on the armor and shield makeup. Ideally, I'd probably run with more shields, really. Okay, so for this fight, I've changed the Cloud Lightning design. I've made it all armor because we're up against all artillery shields. So why would you bring shields into an artillery fight? You're just not going to do it if you know your opponent is running mostly artillery battleship designs. Now, to get nanites, you're obviously going to have to go nanites ascension tree. So you're going to need that in order to do this. Or you would have had to go on the Cosmogenesis Crisis, which a lot of people are doing these days anyway. This is a very good path to go down. So this will give us daily hull regen of 15%, so that's 30% daily hull regen, and daily armor regen of plus 20%. So that's really effective in being able to regenerate the armor and regenerate our hull points to keep us in the fight longer, so that we can let our Cloud Lightning do the work. Still running with line combat computer. Now opposing us, we've still got our same design. We've still got our reactive armor hardening and our shield hardening, missiles, artillery combat computer, artillery focused arc emitters. So we've still got our same design, which was so effective last time. All I've done is changed is a couple of shields to armor and changed the afterburners to nanites. That's the only changes to this ship design. See how those small ship designs changes affect the outcome of the battle.
Mixing it up with a hostile fleet.
We've lost more ships here, more battleships. We do see some battleships have retreated from here. Firepower levels is dropping. It was 150k. They did have a significant advantage. Speed it up a little bit. They're just close now. We're getting the range of the cloud lightning. Before, the cloud lightning wasn't firing until we get in the range. And that's probably because we didn't have the afterburners on these ships. Now the battleships are split up and they are sort of focusing down a little bit. The numbers are relatively even. Firepower is relatively even, but I think this fleet has a slight advantage at the moment. Let's just pause it there. You can see the hull points are going down here, that the cloud lightning, whereas these hull points are a little bit higher. Let's look at the overall damage. So the focused arc emitters are doing lots of damage, which is to be expected. Kinetic artillery is still way up there, doing over 12,000. Cloud lightning is only 9,500 at this stage. They are still doing quite well, the artillery fleet. But still you're losing that hull strength. And once you lose so much hull strength, your fleet just becomes just that much weaker. You start losing, particularly the second half of the fight, you start losing ships quite quickly. So it's relatively even. Anyone could win this battle at the moment. Strength is really dropping now. They still have the advantage in ships. Oh, the firepower is dropping though in this fleet, so I think more of a retreated, even though it displays more ships. They just haven't had the actual as many ship losses. Look at the hull strength now, well down. But just look at the damage output now. Focused Archimedes, Cloud Lightning has gone in front of the kinetic artillery now. That's why I've seen the battle swing a little bit. Got a few ships left now. That's the retreated fleet. You can see there, so the Cloud Lightning's on over 18,000 damage, although we can't see the others because the battle retreated. Focused Archimedes is up there doing a lot of damage. So you can see, so what I want to, the purpose of this video is just to show how strong Cloud Lightning is to use, and don't be afraid to use it because of the variations in the damage output. It is, and I've showed it against one of the strongest designs that a lot of people use in their artillery battleships in the late game, and just how effective it is against battleship versus battleship. And yes, there are a lot of variations. We can throw up a lot of different mixed fleets and screening ships and torpedoes and all these other variations, and we'll probably go through that in some other videos. I'll test this against some cruiser designs and destroyers, and we can put in some screening ships and go out that way. But I just wanted to show battleship versus battleship that the Cloud Lightning is superior. Even when you do hardening, there are ways to combat the hardening if you've got the technology to do it. And this shows you the technology that you need to combat people who are using hardening against you if you want to get down the Cloud Lightning path. Now, to get the Cloud Lightning, you obviously need to find void clouds somewhere in the galaxy. They're often not too hard to find. You just need to be the first ones to get it. Or if you knew there was a void cloud alien somewhere in that vicinity, but you didn't get it, look to the AI empires around you and see what their ship designs. Find the one that's got some Cloud Lightning in the ship designs and go to war with them and go steal their tech from their debris and get it that way. I've done it a number of times myself. So not the easiest technology to get, but it is extremely effective, and it's one of the ones you should aim to get to fight crises. Very, very effective until at least you get some crisis weaponry on your ships. So very, very effective. I use it all the time against crises whenever I can get it on my ships and ship designs. So yeah, very, very effective weapon. All right, that's it for this video today, guys. Leave me some comments and what you think of the Cloud Lightning ship designs. I'm sure some people disagree, and there are different variations of ship designs you can use to counter this, but it is very, very effective in these battles, and you've just seen how. All right, give me some comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.